The FX ethology series Fargo is only 2 seasons in, and it's already fantastic. Its characters are quirky yet identifiable, and is able to be funny while still having stakes. This mainly stems from the show being a dark comedy, able to cover both the serious and more comical aspects in life. One aspect the show strongly concentrates on through its tone is communication, all strongly displayed through how certain characters communicate, how the dialogues pan out, and how the varying levels of miscommunication are the root of a lot of conflicts. So to analyze the communication, we need to analyze how the varying characters communicate. First, there are the silent ones, examples being the Gerhardt Indian, the Kitchen Brothers, and the deaf Mr. Wrench. One attribute they all share is their reliability, the Indian to the Gerhardt family, the Kitchen Brothers to Mike and Milligan, and with the help of Mr. Numbers to translate, Mr. Wrench to the mob. However, despite trustiness, another attribute these silent assassins seem to have is a frustration brewing beneath them. From Mr. Wrench being pretty vocal, or movable, when it comes to the only man who understands him, to the Gerhardt Indian turning against his family due to the frustrations that are brewing inside of him. This very much demonstrates how, despite being the quiet ones, they clearly have evident frustrations which relate to a lack of sociability, anger which they could only let out through their own personal methods. Then there are the characters that feel they are worth more despite lacking. The two specific examples that come to mind are Lester and Penny. A common attribute the two share is their limitations, Lester being let down due to being a disappointment to his community, or Peggy giving the impression she's a petite woman who's a mere hairdresser. They also have notably bad decision-making, yet there is a narcissism within the two, desiring to be something more, going as far as to oppress their friends and family. Yet in the end they both end up failing due to their faults, demonstrating how narcissism could cloud your judgment. Then finally, there are the characters that are verbally strong, able to manipulate others at their will. The two specific examples are Leonard Malvo and Mike Milligan. Both of them displayed to be very strong verbally, whether through intimidation or charm, and they both are generally able to get away with it. Now, with the variety of characters that have been displayed, there is a multitude of factors displayed through their interactions, one specific one being confusion. From the Gerhardt's daughter not able to get Mike Milligan's analogies, to the translation Mr. Numbers has to do between the mobster and Mr. Wrench, displaying how differing verbalizing methods result in perplexities. Then there is how the characters interact during their final confrontations. They would either be in full killing mode with no back and forth, like Nightguard and Malvo, or they would discuss, but one of the characters would have a significant advantage, as we are aware of the hero getting the upper hand while the other is monologuing and on complete control. The only significant time this happens in the show is when Dot is monologuing about Evil Woman while Peggy stabs him in the foot. And with how he's a sexist, hot-tempered imbecile, these comedic comeuppance feel very well deserved. And then finally, the most essential aspect of this thematic through line, those fucking aliens. They are presented as wild cards within this crime-based series, a random force with seemingly no purpose. However, this gonzo force is actually shown to be a stroke of genius within the show, specifically when applying it to Hank's monologue about communication. Towards the end of the second season, it is revealed that Hank has been creating a second alien-like language. He claims that various problems in the world seem to derive from miscommunication, and how he wants to make it so that there is less miscommunication in the world. And really, doesn't that ring true? How misinformation about politics, religion, or our education system could be very detrimental. If we're able to improve the way we communicate, we could probably fix various issues in our society. And seeing aliens as some metaphor for misinformation is legitimate. The two times we see the aliens is during two major shootouts, with her prominence mirroring the size of the event. They made a brief appearance at the Waffle House shooting, and a big appearance at the Gerhardt's policemen standoff at the hotel. It demonstrates how the aliens are symbols for confusion, something the two standoffs were strongly based on, demonstrating how we need to have better communication to prevent events like these.